Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, just a couple of days ago, Sam and I were talking, and we were talking about what was the most embarrassing day, but then we were saying what was your most stressful day, and I was thinking, and I was like, you know what, I can't think of any other day, or not specific day, but I can't think of any other time but the time that I was applying for epik. I think that was really stressful, and I was thinking about why it was stressful, and it's definitely because there were so many things that they didn't tell us, and I hate not knowing. So it was really stressful. It was the most stressful job application time ever. So without further ado, I decided that I'm going to tell you guys 10 things that epik doesn't tell you beforehand, okay? So let's get to it. As always, I have my notes here, but before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and go. Okay. So, to begin with, okay, so you get told that you are accepted into this program, right? But then you're like, okay, so I know that I'm gonna be going for the fall semester, so it should be this month. But you'd expect them to tell you, when, the date. You first go into orientation. Before you get into your apartment or even start working, you go into orientation that's located in different places usually, but in a university. So you have about a week orientation in a university that you just do different classes and things like that. So you would usually fly there. So even though you're told yeah, you're placed in Busan or you're in Seoul, you still can't fly there. You have to go to where the orientation is. But they don't tell you where the orientation is, which really, really sucks. So, number one, they don't tell you where the orientation is until very, late. And along with that, number two, they don't tell you the date of the orientation. And they also don't tell you, which airport, because that could give it away. I don't know why, but I think that they were keeping it a secret because there are different, what do they call them? Advisors? No. Recruiters.
Yeah, recruiters.
Yeah, they're different recruiters. And you get assigned one. So one person is in charge of multiple people. So I remember when I was applying and I was kind of concerned because I want to buy my plane tickets because they were they weren't on sale. They were cheaper, and before they go up, I wanted to buy them. So I asked, hey, what date are we arriving there, or what date's the orientation, which airport, and he wouldn't give me. He's like, well, you just have to wait until we send out that message. And it's been 2 days, and I still didn't hear anything from him. And so someone on a group chat, I guess their recruiter thought it was time to send it, and they sent it to them. So I want to make sure with my recruiter, so I sent him the picture, and I was like, hey, is this the location and the time? I want to go ahead and book my flight. And he was like, oh, who gave you that? Who told you that? That wasn't supposed to be out until a week from now, blah, blah. And I'm thinking if you have the information, why not give me? So that was very stressful. And so anyway, it ended up being the right information. Some people just got it earlier than others, so that was very stressful. So number three, they don't tell you where you will be living. Yeah, honestly, the whole time I was applying and going through this process, I was thinking about, what if this is a scam? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm dragging myself and my husband into this scam, and it's probably going to be a scary cult, and we're going to, I don't know, die. But yeah, so they don't tell you where you live, where you'll be living. You know what city you'll be at. So when you get accepted, literally all the email said was, you have reserved a position in Busan. Busan's a really big place. It's a really big city. And so if you were accepted to Seoul, they would also say, like, you have reserved a place in Seoul or Daegu. Like, they just very vaguely tell you. It's kind of saying, like, yeah, you have gotten a job in Florida. Like, where in Florida? You know, it's really hard to, because we don't know Korea that well, at that time at least. Number 4, you don't get told what school you'll be teaching. Yeah, like, that's the last thing they tell you. Yeah, they don't tell you what school, or the fact that some people have, like, multiple schools. I honestly, okay, so when I apply, I had elementary school in mind, and that was not the case. I had middle school, but I have 2 middle schools. So that was not communicated to me. Like, I wasn't sure of what grade, like, you know, I wasn't sure. And, you know, like, I didn't even know that having multiple schools was a thing. So I found that out the day before I left orientation to come to my apartment. Yeah. It was like a whole week of torture in orientation as far as, like, not knowing. It's like there's a bunch of people that have no idea what their life is going to look like in a week. And you're all just, like, trying to guess and talk and, like say what ifs, and, like, it's just so insane. And also the hardest part was just, like, making friends, and then, like, you don't know where they're going to be living. They could be, like, 4 hours from you. I don't know. Like, it's just so weird not knowing. Yeah, so number 5 was what grade you're going to teach. Like, I did not know I was going to be in middle school. There were some people that are placed in high school, and some people were in elementary school. I don't know how they determined that. But, as, like, talking to different people, as far as my knowledge, I think that people with, like, teaching certificate, like, and they've taught, like, elementary school, obviously they would go into elementary school, and if you've had any, like, middle school experience or degree in English, you would go into middle school or high school, because, like, they do more writing and essays and things like that. So I think that's how they did it, but I'm honestly not sure how it happened. But, like, the people that I've talked to, they're all in grades that they've had experience with back in their home country. So I think that's how they determine. But anyway, number 6, they don't tell you about the education system difference. I guess this is for you to, like, research, and I'm not sure if all Korea, like, is the same or different, but I guess I could just, like, research the cultural difference of, like, schools in America versus schools in Busan, South Korea, once I found out that I was coming to Busan. But honestly, with all that crap happening at the same time, I had no time to do that. I had no time to research for that. But yeah, that's gonna be another video that I'm gonna make, because it's so different. It's insanely different. I'm like, at first I was so mind blown. I'm like, are you sure they're allowed to do this? And the teacher's like, yeah, why not? And I'm like, definitely not allowed in America. But yeah, so I think it would have been nice if they could, like, just, you know, send, like, an email of, like, oh, differences, you know, things that might be new to you or things like that. But, you know, it is what it is. Number 7, they don't tell you about this thing called Korean surprise. So Korean surprise is a thing, y'all, and I don't know how many of you know about this, but Korean surprise pretty much is, it's like Koreans are, like, in school system, I don't know anywhere else, but, like, they're very last minute, so they tell you a huge change at a very last minute, and they call it Korean surprise, and that's very acceptable, and that's okay. And I've been here, what, like 8 months now, and I still can't get over it. Like, I still don't get used to it. That's not something I want to get used to. I would like to be on top of things. I would like to notify people of anything ahead of time, just because I know that I get the anxiety whenever I get like a last minute notification on anything. So as far as in school, the classes, like your classes, you have a set schedule that you teach, and a lot of times, honestly, I would be walking into a classroom and they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't tell you, class is canceled because of blah 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 activity. Oh, okay, well, couldn't tell me that, so that, because a lot of times I don't use the plan. I would just toss it and like go on, move on to the next chapter. So it's rough. And then there are times where schedules like completely change, and I walk into work and then I'm going to my first period class. They're like, no, this is my class, and I'm like, no, this is my class, and then they would say, oh, you know, first period is now fifth period or something, and I'm just like, can you please like let me know these things? Or yeah, as far as just like lesson planning too, they'd be like, oh yeah, I wanted to like skip this and do this instead. I'm like, you're giving me 20 minutes, like literally 20 minutes. But that's the culture. I'm not complaining about it, but I just don't want to get used to it, and that's not what I would like to do. And I definitely would have liked to known about this before I came here. Number 8 is vacation times. So I guess they kind of tell you this, but they tell you that you have 20 days of vacation, 10 in the summer, 10 in the winter, and then you have 6 days for like, I don't know, like if you need to make a run to the bank, or like just you need to do some things that are not open after 4:30, then you would use those 6 days. So the 10 days, I thought like, I don't know, it made it look like on their website and stuff like that when we applied first, it made it look like you can pretty much choose where you take those days. And also, I don't know, I'm used to that. I don't know if you guys are, but like in America, you have vacation days and you just need to use them within the year as long as you let them know ahead of time. And so you would just say that like, okay, I'm taking my 7 days this holiday or whatever, you know, and then as long as, so some jobs, they would say like, yeah, you can't carry your vacation time over for the next year, so you have to use them all. Some say like you can carry them over, and that's all I've heard. I've never heard that like a set vacation time. So I didn't know that was the case, which was fine. And you know, like I came here and I'm flexible, so we were like able to work it out, which was really nice because almost all the schools were doing their vacation time around the same time, so we still got to enjoy our summer with our friends and things like that. So, and winter too, like we're all going to be able to go back to our homes at the same time, similar times. So yeah, know that vacation time is set, like it's not, you don't get to choose your own. Number 9, desk warming. So you probably have heard about desk warming from other epik bloggers or things like that, YouTubers. So desk warming, I honestly, it's like a controversial topic because some people like desk warming, some people don't. I don't hate it, honestly. I don't hate it because I can always like find something to do. I hate it when it's a last minute thing because I just feel like I wasted a lesson plan. But if it's like planned, I honestly like I'll find something to do. I'll read, I will research, I'll look for like flights and like plan my travels and things like that. So I'm okay with it. But there are some people that absolutely hate it because desk warming, all you're doing is literally warming your desk. You're sitting down, you don't have any work, you don't have any planning, you have no classes, you're literally sitting all day. So sometimes, so in my case, right now, in 2 weeks, it's finals. So they are reviewing for finals, which means I don't teach. I don't have any classes. So then the Korean teacher is helping them review and all that stuff for the next 2 weeks. And then the week of finals, they're taking a final. So I'm not going to be teaching. So for 3 weeks, I'm just chilling, hanging out. I mean, right now I have grading to do, but once that's done, like, I have nothing to do. But there are other teachers. But there's the other kind of desk warming is during our vacation time. So like, school is out for a month, but the epik teachers only get 10 days. So you're only gone for 10 days out of the whole month. So the other days that you're at work and no one else is there, you're literally just warming your desk. Like, you're doing nothing. There's no students, no teachers. Maybe there's like one or two other teachers or someone to open the door for you, but you're just sitting and doing nothing. So when Netflix comes in handy. So yeah, I don't think I knew this. No, I definitely didn't know this beforehand. So if you're not the kind of person that would like to sit at your desk for a long period of time without anything to do, this might not be for you. So lastly, number 10, they don't tell you about mandatory dinners with your schools. I honestly, I actually enjoyed them. I do, but there are some people that hate them. A lot of people actually hate them because it just depends on your co-workers and the teachers and stuff like that, how inclusive they are. So I have two schools, and one school is, when I go to dinner with them, they're very inclusive. Like, even the ones that don't speak English, they like try to like, talk to me through a translator and things like that. And then my other school is not super inclusive, but like, we would be eating and then they would tell me like main things, like big things of what's happening, but they carry on with their own conversation, which is okay because I don't expect them to translate everything. But I think that it shouldn't be mandatory. I think we should be able to choose whether we want to go or not. From my school, they both pay for it. I know some teachers put like money towards the dinners, like I don't know how much, but and it's very frequent too, and yeah, so I don't mind it. I get to try new places. They usually take us to different places, so it's nice, and then I can come home and take Sam there another time, so it's like it helps me discover new places to eat. But yeah, so they're mandatory dinners, and sometimes it's by department. My one school, they do it by department, so it's just like that one English department, we go and eat together, and you don't really talk about work during these dinners. You're literally just hanging out and talking about life. They're just talking about life. And my other school, they do like the entire school, so we literally reserve an entire like restaurant, like, or if it's a big restaurant, like a whole section, and we would all go. It's like about 40 people, 40 to 50 people. We all just go and we eat. It's fun, but sometimes I'm tired. I just want to come home. But yeah, so those are some things that epik does not tell you beforehand. They're not necessarily like bad things. I don't think they're bad, but there's some things that you should know if you're going to be doing them for a whole year. So I hope that this was a helpful video, and I hope that you liked it, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And what else? Yeah, there's going to be more videos coming up. Sorry for slacking. I just haven't had time. But yeah. Till next time. Bye.